GTii is still continuing on our implied path. Let's go ahead and go over some details as to what can happen for the coming sessions. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a GTii, technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this fine Monday night. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so yeah, we're looking at GTii on the 5-day chart here, and this is in particular to the ascending or rising wedge that we've been looking at for quite some time. We've already made that touch to the 2.618 at about 91.09, and we are currently sitting at about 97 cents. So I have mentioned before that the potential of starting a new 5-day candle respecting the support of the ascending wedge is a probability, okay? But another thing that we should notice is that we're at about 65% complete of this ascending wedge. And 65%, why? Because typically these triangles tend to realize their true nature at about 70 or 75% towards the apex of the triangle, okay? So that would arguably be the next candle print, okay? So in this case, we are right at that support line of this wedge, and we are actually just going to have to see if we can maintain this. But there are a few things that we can do in order for us to see if that is a possibility. Let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart. Okay, so this is the statistical side of the analysis that we've been looking at for quite some time. Now, this is a right-angled triangle that we were actually able to find per our last thread of analysis. And in this particular formation is the reason why I'm able to see still a touch of our 45. A touch of our about I'd say 45 to 60%, 60 cent zone. Okay, why 45? First of all, because that is our bottom support per the low of this candle here when we started that reversal. Okay, so we can actually see that we may actually make that resistance touch upon the opening of the next candle here. Okay, so if we are able to make a resistance touch, it may actually fail at about I mean, best case scenario potentially between 119 and 134, but that's not a guarantee whatsoever. In fact, this may actually be the rejection from the resistance, and this may actually just be the fluctuations towards the downside at eventually approaching to that 45 cent, 46 cent level, okay, before we can find an immediate bounce. Now, please do know that actually this formation does have both a bullish and bearish outlook, okay, per the playbook rule, since descending triangles or right angle triangles are played that way, okay? So if we were to imply an upside move per the breakout at about 70 to 75% of to the apex of the triangle, we can actually see that the upside trajectory leads us right in confluence to the 3,200% upside thrust that we gained per a statistical backtest, including volatility represented by this indicator BBWP versus momentum, which is actually proprietary to TradingView software, which, by the way, I'm actually an accepted affiliate. So if you guys do decide to open up a TradingView account, it would certainly help out my trading future. All right, you guys. So now, yeah, let's go ahead and now continue on to the next chart, as the price action is barely beginning that descent, and it looks like it should be continuing per literally per wave forms here. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the last part of the analysis, as it will be the RSI. So divergence is the opposition of price action versus momentum, and in this case, momentum represented by this indicator RSI, relative strength index. The purple line represents the RSI signal, and the pink line represents a 14-day moving average, a simple moving average, to be perfectly clear with you, and this is standard to any RSI setup, okay? So we can see that the 12-hour divergence drives, actually in particular, these are regular and hidden bearish drives of divergence, okay? So we are now respecting those drives of divergence to the downside, and as you can see on the 12-hour chart, we are sitting right at that junction between the bear weakness percentile and the bear strength percentile, which is actually something that you can refer to right over here on this diagram I've made for you, okay? So these are the 4 zones as they are located right over here as well, okay? So yeah, we're right at that junction, and usually when we approach this deep area of the bear weakness percentile, a gravitational pull is likely to happen and pull us right into that following zone, which would be the bear strength. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open up a multi-pane so that we can gauge a deeper edge for the immediate short term. So like always, we're gonna go ahead and start this. We're gonna go ahead and start this. My apologies, with the 30-minute time frame, and we can see that the immediate short term has now made a bullish cross above the 14-day moving average, and we're right at the junction between the bear strength percentile and the bear weakness percentile. Usually means that we're going to face that pull right up to the following session. Okay, so I'm sorry, following zone. Sorry about that. So and it's particular to the 30-minute. Okay, so this is likely to live out pretty fast. Now, the buy hourly is suggesting now some slight sideways, slightly bearish, maybe a little bullish. Why? Why bearish? Slightly bearish, particularly to the position of the RSI. We're sitting at bear strength percentile. Why bullish is because we're in the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile, which mean again, we can face this gravitational pull into the following zone. But please know that we do have the 14-day moving average above us, which is usually bearish. We can find resistance from there and then continue on this sideways trading limbo, similar to what COSM is doing. Okay, so right over here, we can actually see that the 6-hour time frame is suggesting slight bullish and slight bearish price action as well, similarly to this over here. So, and now the daily time frame is suggesting some downside. It is now this should express just a little bit of concern, but of course this is very much in accordance to what we're talking about regarding our ascending or rising wedge. Okay, so and then also particularly to our right angle triangle with the price action here. Okay, so we can see that the daily time frame is more in accordance with that right angle triangle. It's suggesting a downside continuation, has made a fresh cross to the underside of the 14-day moving average, which only means that now that we approach that deep area of the bear weakness percentile, we're gonna likely continue to the downside right over here. Okay, so let's look at the buy daily, and buy daily suggesting a continuation to the downside. This is a significant distance to the moving average. We can find some support there before a bounce to the upside, but that can take days and days because we are looking at the buy daily RSI. Okay, so the 3-day is using now the 14-day moving average as a form of resistance and continuing to the downside. Please do notice that the downside is now even more significant, not only for the fact that the 14-day moving average is suggesting downside alongside the RSI signal, but for the fact that we're now sitting in the deep area of the bear weakness percentile and in that gravitational zone. Okay, so we can now face a pull right back into the strength percentile of the bears. All right, you guys, so please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Okay, I need you to do your own DD and everything will be just fine, you guys. All right, but if you need to get in touch with me, refer to the links in the description below. I'll have the ARCap Trading Community Discord link and also the Twitter link there. And yeah, but yeah, with that said, you guys, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.